DeLacy Howard here with Third Movement. I wanted to bring a quick video. Yesterday I shot a video about, the title was named "What's Going On with Our Kids," and it was about a group of young men who were doing a rap song video, expressing their feelings about having oral sex with other men, with grown men, and everything, and then I talked about one situation where an 8-year-old boy was forced to have oral sex with I think it was 3 other 12-year-olds or whatever. Now listen, at this point, I'm gonna tell you now. I'm gonna use words like sex. Get over it. That's part of life. We're Christians, but that's a part of life. That word is, matter of fact, that word is in the church is being neglected. We really need to start talking to these kids. The kids in the church is going neglected because we're afraid to tell the truth. We're afraid of being outside this box that us as Christians are in, a box where we can only do this and we can only do that. While we in that box, we're letting hurting kids go. Now, when I hear stories like this, a news story, everybody knows this by now. Michael Jackson's daughter, Paris Jackson, or whatever her name is, tried to commit suicide yesterday, or a couple of days ago. Whenever, she just recently tried to commit suicide. All of these issues with kids, I'm going to tell you, I can name a bunch of different issues going on with these kids. All these different issues is a cry out for help. These little boys that's going around doing this homosexual rap songs, it's a cry out for help. Here's the deal. Inside the black culture, there's a monster. There's a monster, a hidden monster that we're afraid to talk about, that we're afraid to bring up, and it's called molestation. This monster, this demon is having its way inside the black culture with our kids. Whether it be through, we bring, nowadays it seems we'll bring anybody around these kids. We can bring anybody around our kids. That's sad. We'll bring anybody. And I'm going to tell you, I always tell you that I did a video called the Black Family on Life Support, and that's because the man is not in the home. Now, if you're on this whole woman equal rights, woman equal power deal, whatever, I'm not even getting into that. I'm not. This is not me fighting you. This is me saying that the man has been. The man done left the home for whatever reason. There's a lot of different reasons we can come up with it. But that's given the reason why the man left the home. It's not going to give the problem. It's not going to solve the problem. The problem is bringing the man back home. But here's the issue: when the man left the home, now the man's job in raising the kid is discipline. So what you have now is a woman who's known to be a nurturer. Not saying that you can't discipline your kids. I'm just saying, but you're known to be a nurturer, and a man was known to be a disciplinary. That disciplinary is gone out the black culture now. Because I'm gonna tell you something, and I'm not saying that women can't discipline kids. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you're not known for it. That's not something you do. I'm not known for playing basketball real good, but I can hit a couple shots. But I'm not known for it. I wouldn't be upset if somebody said, "Man, you garbage." I am. I'm not known for playing basketball. So what I'm saying is, when men left the home and that disciplinary has went out, women had to pick up other jobs besides nurturing. They had to pick up disciplinary. They had to work a full-time job. They had to find a way to feed the kid. They had a lot of pressure came on them, and through disciplinary, a lot of unlove came out. Not saying that you meant it, but it's just the way things went down. Now, I was raised by my mom, a single parent, and she did a good job of disciplining me and my brother and my sister. We all we all are stable in our life, and we all are a disciplined people. We don't go out and do crazy stuff. Now, I want to get back to the original topic. Now we have the woman who's the only force in the home. She has to be nurturer and disciplinary. She has to take on the job of a man. What happened is when she had these kids, you're talking about women that have 3 or 4 kids. She got to deal with, disciplining these kids. And sometimes the discipline doesn't happen as much as it should. I'm not blaming it on a woman. I'm just saying that's reality. If you really want to say, men, we have to step up and take the blame. We have to step up and take the blame for leaving the house for everything in the black family going array. I tell you that. I'm not afraid to call anybody out. It's the truth is the truth. And I'm not finna shy away from the truth. And I'm not finna be scared of the truth. And I'm not finna be scared of people who are going to come against the truth. I don't care. So you have the women in the home. Then now you have a lack of discipline. That's one mixture. One mixture. Then you're gonna mix a woman wanting to be loved by a man. We all have that. A man want to be loved by a woman, and a woman want to be loved by a man. That's just something in us. So sometimes we can bring home men with ill intentions. We sometimes we just can't be everywhere at one time, and dudes, we are monsters at sometimes. Some of us, not all, some of us are monsters. And we'll do things like take advantage of people, take advantage of the woman, take advantage of her kid. That's where molestation coming in. Next thing you know, this kid, this little boy, it's a lot with little girls too. This little boy comes up, now he's been molested by a man and he's confused. Okay. In that moment, he showed me that he cared for me through a sexual feeling. But he's also understanding that, okay, I am not supposed to be with a man at this point. Most, especially in the black culture, we're raised in the church. So we are told that homosexuality is a sin. But then we find in love through molestation. So now what you have is a conflicted little boy. Because, it's rarely ever where a woman molests. Now, I'm not saying that you don't have some cases, but it's rarely ever that a woman molests a boy. The majority of cases happen with men molesting little men. And all the time, it's not even all the time whether it be about a boyfriend. Sometimes it's an uncle. Sometimes it's a woman best friend who's been their best friend all their life that she trusts. And it's the people that we trust that does the damage. So now you got a woman who's trying to take care of everything. She may be at work trying to feed her 3 kids, and she thinking her brother coming over to keep the kids and keep watch for the kids, and he ends up molesting them. So now it's not about, and listen to me, I don't want to make it about pointing fingers. I really don't. But what I'm saying is, it's about the kid being molested, whatever situation it is, whoever fault it is. The problem is the kid is molested. Now that kid is confused. So now you got a mixture of an undisciplined child with mixed emotions about this sexuality. Now, here's the deal. Parents aren't talking to the kids about sex no more. That is so scary to a parent. Oh, I can't talk to kids about sex. Listen, my niece and nephew, they're going to get that talk as soon as I think they understanding the whole sex world. And this age, you got kids who are on a computer, looking at porn, masturbating at the age of 8. That's crazy, but it's reality. We can say whatever you want, but that's reality. So now we got a kid who's confused sexually, a kid who is undisciplined, a kid who doesn't feel the love of a father anymore because the father is not there. So you have a kid that doesn't feel the love of a father. Then you have a kid rejected by church, because you understand, church in my life, church was a big part of my life. It still is, always has been. So a big part of my life is rejecting me. That's what the kid is saying. A big part of my life is rejecting me. So now you got a kid that's confused. You have a kid that is missing half of him, because the father is really posted. We got to get back to having father not is important. So now you have a little kid that's confused, rejected. You have a little kid that that longs for a touch of the father, longs for guidance, and then you have a kid that's undisciplined. And when you have that, you have a acting out. It's the same thing with women. For men, it draws them to the homosexual lifestyle. For the women, it draws them to the homosexual lifestyle too. But more so, it draws them to, like, you know, uncontrolled sexual lifestyle. You know, where they end up being strippers, or where they end up being prostitutes, or where they end up being in all kinds of different sexual, evil sexual desires. You know, that's uncontrollable, because it's literally a pot of ungodliness going in, and these kids are growing up with all of this ungodliness. And when they go to the church, they get rejected. I'm gonna say this to the church about the situation. We dropping the ball so horribly on these kids. We dropping the ball on this whole homosexual thing, period. Listen, I'm gonna have to, this is part one. I'm gonna have to do a part two. I don't want to go too long. Just so be ready for part two.